saying something that stuck out to each of us, so let me hear about some of the specific interesting parts of the conference. And then there was some other sessions that we wanted to share specifically. So, anybody want to start off with
I'll do it. Well, if y'all don't know Lee Strobel, he's a cool guy, but he had a lesson about doubts and why it's okay to ask questions, and that wasn't really apparent to me until like this week, to where a bunch of stuff happened, and it's really confusing, and I've been really busy with stuff, and it's just like, it's okay to ask, like, why did I break my elbow? Or, like, why did all this stuff go wrong? And why do I have no time? And it's okay, because that shouldn't affect your faith. But, like, stuff like that could make your faith stronger in a way that you might not even know from God. Like, I don't know, I could be out from sports and fishing and stuff, but I could also, like, stay home and maybe, like, go to youth group more, since I don't have to go to football as much, and then, or like, I don't know, have more free time to do all this stuff. Like, he probably did it for a reason, so that's pretty cool to me, and it makes me a lot less sad about my arm, so that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Noah went just Sunday night to the conference. So what was your takeaway on Sunday night for you?
Well, I thought it was really cool. I liked the singing because it was like I just like those songs, and I just thought it was like cool to be there. Like it was just a question and answer, so it wasn't like a specific topic, but there was like some good things about it. Like they talked about the youth, like just the whole generation, and how it's like actually not as bad as some people might think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We got to listen to Justin and Noah Brierly talk about a surprising rebirth in the belief of God, and I thought it really caught my interest because I have some family members who aren't super religious and are into some of the stuff we talked about, such as New Age spirituality, which has become super popular on some social media platforms. And hearing that, a lot of people are actually getting away from that and coming back to God and leaving atheism, I thought was really promising and good.
I have a question. Where was the thing?
It was at this giant mega church that was like
It was
4 times bigger than ours.
It's called Preston.
They'd have like the pastor propelling down after saying it's all about God.
No, but there were songs whenever someone came up to talk.
Yeah,
That
like,
reminded me of a game show host.
like a walkout song.
There's 60,000 members. One thing that stuck out to me was that there was all these people that pursued just different areas that people will question Christianity or struggle with things, and found that Christianity had an answer for everything, and that the Bible is true. That this one guy talked about how Jesus is a genius, and every story that he told was like, it was both like impactful to sinners and to the scribes and the Pharisees, and he would like draw on Old Testament stories from like, there were so many connections that I won't even try to list some of them, but he wrote a book called Jesus the Genius if you are interested in that. And just all the knowledge and the truth of Christianity that was there was really cool.
Mm-hmm. And what story did he use? And then
The prodigal son
Yeah.
is the one that he focused on for that session.
And I still find the whole people at the bottom.
Yes, there was another part in the Bible where friend, young goat, and prostitute appeared in the same sentence. If y'all want to know about that, that was kind of interesting. It was also not a great story, so I don't know, do what you want with that. Okay.
you want to get started on asking them to talk? So, seeing as it was like talking a lot about apologetics, we were gonna have y'all like answer the question, what would you do? What was the question exactly about a Muslim? If they questioned your faith, or?
Yeah, so what would y'all do if you're talking to a really smart Muslim who's just kept throwing out all these objections to Christianity and say you didn't really have an answer for all of them at least? How would y'all respond to that?
Starfire.
No.
Don't actually know. Walk away.
Okay, no, I got it. In all seriousness, counterpoint with things that Muslim doesn't have.
Well, we're kind of saying you don't have a counterpoint.
Oh, okay.
I think you should just like go home and like try to like learn it, not to like do it next time, but also for like you to know.
Okay, third idea. Google Bible verses. Because unless he knows like the entirety of the Quran or whatever their book is, I forgot, but unless he like has memorized the entirety of whatever the Islam book is, then he can't really get mad at you for Googling up the Bible verses for evidence.
But he probably doubts the truth of the Bible.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
If we're trying to convince
Good idea. Plan D.
What do you mean? Like,
Okay.
if you can't have a counterpoint, then like what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, like you should have like kind of
We'll
lenient.
get to that.
Like,
But so say he brings up like a specific objection. He says, I can never believe in Christianity because y'all believe in 3 gods and I only believe in 1. What would you do then?
Counterpoint.
It's not my problem.
Well, you're not even coming up with any ideas either, okay?
Poppy, Ellie, Allie, don't got anything?
How about we ask Maggie? She's always criticizing me for stuff, but she hasn't come up with any ideas herself.
Just keep- It's a hard question. I mean, it's very hard. So
Kind of if you think, like, if there are 3 gods with the same powers, it's kind of pointless. They think the same. They have the same intentions. I feel like it kind of at the same time like doesn't make sense why there would be 3 and why it's just like a 3 and 1 kind of thing.
That is a really good answer. You're saying that we kind of also, we say we believe in 1 God. And so you're kind of building common ground with the Muslim by saying that we also believe in 1 God. And that was the first point that one of the speakers, Sean McDowell, was talking about in entering spiritual conversations. Even if it's not on a specific topic that you can just bring counterpoints against all the time, you can just build common ground with that person, and that's actually more important than beating them in the argument. And but you would also have to clarify like the differences, because we're not going to say we believe in the same God. We don't believe in Allah, we believe in the Trinity. And so we can say we both believe in 1 God and develop common ground with the person, but we're not just, we have to clarify the differences. And that was the second point he was talking about, was to clarify the differences. Sure, that's good.
So, he gave us some verses in terms of clarifying differences, which is going to be in Acts 17, 24 through 29. Does anyone want to read that?
Acts 12, what?
Acts 17,
Oh.
24, 29.
I'll do it.
Yippee.
Acts 17 again. The God who made the world and everything in it, being Lord of heaven and earth, does not live in temples made by men, nor is he served by human hands as though he needed anything, since he himself gives to all mankind life and breath and everything. Did I read the right verse?
24, 29.
Oh, okay. Hold on. And he made from one man every nation of mankind to live on all the face of the earth, having determined allotted periods and the boundaries of their dwelling place. Yet they should seek God and perhaps feel their way toward him and find him. Yet he is actually not far from each one of us, for in him we live and move and have our being. As even some of your own poets have said, for we are indeed his offspring. Being then God's offspring, we ought not to think that the divine being is like gold or silver or stone, an image formed by the art and imagination of man.
So there in what you just read, Paul is clarifying the differences between this pagan culture and Christianity. But right before that, he has said that he also believes in a God, and he walked up to one of their shrines, and he said it was labeled to the unknown God, and he said, "Hey, I'm a spiritual person too." And he built common ground. And then what we just read was when he was saying, "These are the differences. This is what we don't believe. This is what we do believe." And it was really important in this conference that we know what we do believe, so that we can engage well with people who believe things that are different than us. And right after that, if anybody wants to keep reading, in 17, 30, and 31, he challenges them. He challenges them to believe something different, to repent, and gives them y'all need change too.
And while you're going through those three things, it might not always work, but at least you can do is plant seeds and get them to at least consider faith, which we talked about a little bit with Alan Hart in terms of the Apologist Playbook is what he called it, 10 essential tips for winning a faith conversation. And one of those tips was just to plant seeds at least, and someone else can come along later and grow it and water it.
And there's a book that I got at the conference that was by the person that gave that talk, and it's called In the Stalemate, and it's about just having spiritual conversations with people, and it's really good so far. If y'all are interested in reading it, you can look at it later. It's very interesting.
Can we talk a little bit about this one?
Sure. Well, so the 10 essential tips, these are really good for winning faith conversations. Like, just to even talk to somebody as a person. Like, before you even talk to them, you should know what you believe before, like, even trying to have a conversation with everybody. Or not everybody, but somebody. And, like, know how to back things up. And, yeah. And you should build relationships with that person. Even if, like, they're an atheist or something, that, like, you should build a relationship to get, like, on their level of thinking and get to know them and have them feel comfortable with you. And, like, you have to make sure that you listen actively and, like, are polite and respectful to them. And you can't get sidetracked when you're talking to them. Like, you can't, like, this is an important thing to talk about. You really can't get sidetracked off of anything crazy. And a way to do that is asking thought-provoking questions to keep y'all in this conversation and make them think about really what they believe and what you believe. and that's really good to just keep them on track. And and if they're like, you're a Christian, you should know everything. You should be confident in everything, and it's okay to admit that you don't know everything about Christianity or about why would Jesus do this or something like that, and you can use resources to help you with that, like the Bible or anything else like that. And you can't use them in a bad way either. It has to be like, you have to use your resources wisely, and you really have to be patient and persistent to even like talk to them, because they might not budge or anything like that, or they're arrogant about something. You really have to be Christ-like towards them and show them that like what you're talking about is good, and you have to be patient with that. And it might not even happen, like Jessica was saying. You could probably just plant a seed that somebody might help grow later. And really, to do this, you pray for guidance and wisdom through Jesus, that He'll help you with all this stuff, and He can guide you through these conversations and help you know what to say. And yeah, so it's kind of all I have to say, because I didn't have time to prepare.
Sounds good. Jessica, could you tell them a little bit about what the father-son duo was talking about on social media, the power of social media, and how to use that? I'm not sure if they had a note page.
Okay, yeah. Oh, they were talking about how TikTok has been very important in sharing a lot of people's faith. And let's see.